What's up, tea drinkers? Who's ready to spill? Welcome to the Tea with KG, hosted by your girl, Kaylee Grace. Here you'll find your weekly boost of real talk mixed with laughter, healing, and all of those vulnerable, messy moments in between. The Tea with KG is a safe space for you to show up exactly as you are. We are here to share real-life stories from around the globe and be a community of love, joy, and celebrating life. This is a real deal show, so there will be coarse language and sensitive topics discussed. The most beautiful stories oftentimes emerge from the darkest of places, and we're here to explore it all. There's room for everyone at this tea time, so grab your drink of choice, spark it up, or just relax and soak it up. Cheers, and let's spill. What's up, tea drinkers? We are back with another episode of the Tea with KG. I'm your host, Kaylee Grace. We are here to spread the sparkle. What is up, tea drinkers? Tea Time Tuesday. Here we are yet again. I just want to give an apology for last week. We did not get an episode out, but you know what? That's just the way life goes sometimes. Sometimes the things that we want to do and need to do just simply do not get accomplished. And you know what? I spent a lot of years beating myself up over absolutely everything and always needing to please others and always running myself dry to do so in the process. And in this era of life, I am slowly but surely walking away from that because you know what? It does not serve my highest good. It may be convenient for others, but if I am burning out in the process, guess what? It's not going to be good for anybody. So just wanted to acknowledge that and let y'all know we're still here. We're still making it happen. But last week was just one of life's moments. And I think that's really important for us to give ourselves a little grace and compassion because it's far too easy to, like I said, be hard on ourselves. And I feel like as human beings, we're so hard on ourselves. You can be the most supportive of everyone else around you, but when it comes to giving yourself that same love and compassion, it just doesn't seem as easy. And it's been such a lifelong work in progress for me to remember that I'm important too. And you know what? Sometimes it is good enough just the way it is. It doesn't have to be perfect. And that's okay. I mean, we all know perfection is an illusion. It's not real. And I feel like the more we try and hang on to perfection, the more detrimental it is to ourselves. It's still, like I said, it's still something I battle with day in and day out. And I feel like it's one of those things that may always be something I need to work on and be mindful about. But I've also said that about other things that I've needed to heal from or different coping mechanisms that I developed throughout my process. And as I grow and evolve, it's so fascinating. And I know I say it often, but like, when something that used to, let's say, trigger you a lot or something that you used to do all the time and just didn't even notice you were doing it, and then when you finally acknowledge it, you can see it bubbling up in places and you're like, no, I'm going to choose a different direction. Rather than bending over backwards and people-pleasing in this situation, I'm going to choose what's best for me. And it's not harmful to someone else. It's good for everyone, but boundaries are okay. And I know for all of my recovering people pleasers out there, that is something that is sometimes so difficult to do. I keep laughing because I keep seeing all these memes on my IG, just like when a people pleaser sets a boundary, and they're just so funny. Like I said, if you can't bring the humor into your healing, what are we doing, right? It doesn't mean it has to be funny right away, because trust me, I have definitely been deep in my feels about certain things, and it took a long time for me to find the humor in it. But I feel like me as a person, that's always going to be a goal. If I can laugh at myself at one point or eventually get there where I find it funny, even though, you acknowledge that it was serious at one time and it needed dealt with and it needed to be acknowledged and felt and healed. But then when you get to the other place where you can just laugh, I just think it's healing. I think it's part of the process. So I just want to put some words of wisdom out there nice and early. Give yourself a break. It is okay if it doesn't work out perfectly. It's okay if what you wanted to get done today doesn't get done today. I think as long as we remain consistent in a healthy way and, you can take your foot off the gas a little, but don't take it all the way off. I know for me anyway, that seems to be where I get into trouble is I'll be super ahead of the game and get so much stuff done. And then I'm like, sweet, I can coast for a while. And sure, it's great to relax and rest. It's not a luxury. That is a necessity to the human experience. I will 100% be balls to the wall, all or nothing. And then all of a sudden I'm like, and we're not going to do anything now. There might be a little bit of ADHD brain there too, which is also fascinating. The more you research, the more, what do we say? The more you know, right? But the more you research different things and figure out what's going on with you and get the education and all of those things, it's just fascinating how the brain works, how our beings work, our soul, our emotions, everything. It's just such a combination of genetics, of course, but also experience, what you're taught, what you're exposed to, what tools you have at your disposal. It's just like this big magic pot of stuff, and it comes out and we are the magic spell that is produced from all of these things, and it's just really interesting. So I want to just reiterate that again. Give yourself a break. It's okay if we're not perfect, and it's okay if you need to do what you got to do to maintain your health. Getting burnt out, I just feel like in our world, well, at least where we live anyway, in North America, it's like second nature. It's like hustle until you're dead, and then what, right? And it's a difficult culture to navigate through because on one side, I can speak for myself anyway, I am very motivated and driven, and I'm a dreamer, and I have goals, and I just want to accomplish certain things. And on the other hand, I love to rest. I love to just take it all in and chill and go with the flow and be present. Like, I guess that's the yin and the yang, right? And finding that balance between do and rest is a challenge when we're taught to go, keep going, add more classes onto your plate, take a side hustle with your full-time job, go do this while you're also a parent, like all the things. And yeah, sure, it's going to be a juggling act, but who's to say that our lives have to be just full of stress and go, 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 and not doing what makes you feel good? Like, I know, I am a naturally optimistic thinker. That's just how I am. But why is it that we can't enjoy life and have a good balance of work and rest? It just feels so unbalanced to me. And again, I know that's a topic we discuss often here, is how without balance there is no flow. There has to be flow in order to receive abundance, love, anything. You have to have that open gratitude to the universe to be accepting of it. And then on the other hand, you also have to co-create. You have to take action. You can't just sit there and wait for something to happen. I'm not saying that the universe doesn't, do the divine intervention and come through when we need it, because honey, we all know it does. But I do feel that unless we're taking action and putting your thoughts out there, trying to figure out what you want to do next, organizing yourself, then the universe hears those cues. They're like, okay, let's do this. And again, just speaking from my own experience, I totally feel this, because sometimes, like, oh my God, the magical things that have appeared for me are, I just express my gratitude because it's straight magic. But I also have to take a step back and be like, what did I do to get here? Because without me taking action, I wouldn't be where I am physically, emotionally, spiritually, all of the things, right? And it's important to celebrate yourself, Give yourself a round of applause, cheer for yourself, whatever celebrating looks like to you. Do a little happy dance. Give that to yourself, because you got yourself here, honey. Nobody else did it for you. Of course, there are going to be beautiful earth angels and supporters and mentors and relationships, friendships, lovers that come through and help you grow. They help you look deep within. You really get to know yourself and figure out, one, what do I want? Who am I on this journey? And you know what? It's okay too, because you'll probably evolve and change so many times throughout your life journey, which I am freaking here for. Evolution, growing, working through those demons and doing the shadow work. Like, that's what's up. That's how our souls here on this human experience of 3D planet Earth, that's the process, right? And I just feel like I need to take my own advice in this. It's so easy to not be present and not enjoy the journey and just be so focused on the destination that sometimes you get to a destination that at one part of your life you dreamt of, but you're too busy looking to the next thing to even enjoy where you're at right now. So taking those mindful moments to be present, take in where you are today and celebrate the shit out of it because you got here for a reason. And I mean, maybe you're not where you want to be right now. That's totally okay. There are certain aspects of my life that aren't quite where I want them to be, and that's fine. That's okay. But again, it's part of the journey. Look at all the other places of your life that are where you want them to be and celebrate that. And you know what? Celebrate not being where you want to be too, because there is a purpose for whatever it is that you're doing right now. And if you feel stuck, maybe you feel like you're spinning your wheels, maybe you're supposed to be stuck and spinning your wheels right now. Maybe that's what's going to have the inspiration fly up. Or maybe taking some time to rest is exactly what your spirit needs. And even though you're trying to fight it, it's not going to happen. Like, you have to just give in, release the control, trust, and let yourself be. And again, I know it is easier said than done at times, but try and allow yourself that. Look within. Don't just sit around and do nothing and just wait for something to fall in your lap. No, put your thinking cap on. Get those brain juices flowing. Settle the mind, settle the body, and really connect with yourself, with your intuition, your inner knowing, whatever you want to call it. It's really challenging to connect with the inner knowing if you've quieted her. I'm saying her because that's how I talk about my intuition. Put whatever, you don't even need to personalize it. Call it what you want to call it. But for these purposes, I like to say her. If you have quieted her for a long time and haven't listened to her and have took everyone else's opinion over your own, it may be difficult to hear her right away. And that's okay. Don't give up. I feel like we move in such a fast-paced world. We give up far too quickly and too easily on ourselves, our dreams, on other people, on our intuition, our inner knowing, and slowing down, because time's an illusion too. Man-made time. What is it? What is time even? You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to stop thinking we're too late or we're too old or we're not ready, we're too young, we're too this, or that. Like, just go for it. Let yourself sit with yourself and get to know your inner knowing and your intuition. If you have quieted her for a really long time, she may just be a whisper at first, but the more that you tune in to that frequency and listen to your gut, your intuition, your inner knowing, listen to her. She knows what's up. And more often than not, we will have the saboteur of our brain come in and want to second guess what our intuition knows. Or we'll have voices from people who are outside of us giving their opinions. When, don't get me wrong, sure, it's great when you can bounce ideas off of people that you know, love, and trust. But sometimes we have to just disregard everybody else, look within, and take what we know to be facts and to be truth and go with it. And I promise you, the more you connect to the intuition, the stronger and louder she will become. I'm saying that based on my own personal experience. Oh my gosh, since childhood, you go through all the things, right? But I can just remember always feeling very in tune, but then life experience, right? Having that voice quieted by others, or thinking that I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not enough, all of the scarcity, never enough. So obviously other people know better than I do about this. Or if someone's an expert in a field, then obviously I'm going to trust what they have to say because they're knowledgeable. I mean, taking your car to the garage is the perfect example, and I hate it because I feel like I get taken for a ride all the time. But I genuinely don't know car stuff, and I don't want to know. It doesn't interest me. So I just feel, I guess that's like that's a little tangent of a comparison, but it's just easy to not listen to your own self is what I'm trying to get at here. But the more you allow yourself to connect to the intuition, like I said, the louder it will become. And I am living proof of that because I allowed that to get clouded for a very long time. And I talk about this a lot too. The healing process is not beautiful and pretty. It is like painful and ugly and like the most intense, gross emotions you'll ever imagine. And oh my God, like even just sometimes the way that we react to pain and triggers, everything, it's not pretty. It's not a good time. But what's important is getting past that and choosing how we want to show up, choosing to move with respect and love rather than responding to the pain. So in doing that, you're already strengthening your inner being and your inner knowing and knowing what's right for you. And it is weird and it is uncomfortable, but it's like anything. It's like if you go to the gym, doing that workout might be the hardest thing in the world to you on day one. But maybe in a week, in a month, in a year, you breeze right by that. No problem. But why do you breeze by it? Because you've been consistent and you've continued to show up and you've put in the work and you've allowed yourself to be there even when it's hard. The same can be said for connecting to your intuition and letting her be loud, honey. And I feel like when we start to let the intuition be more present, it just is like a beautiful ripple effect for the rest of our lives. It can help you feel more confident, more sure of yourself. Even if you're in situations like, let's say you're in a city and you're out in a crowd, you can feel energies, you can feel things. It can help with your safety. It can just help with so many things, just to have that self-awareness, to have an awareness of what's around you. And remember your core, what's important to you, what drives you. And nobody knows that better than you. Somebody can try and put a label on you and say that you're this or you're that, but guess what? That is their opinion and their opinion only, and that's fine. And if they want to say that, that's fine. But that's on them. That's not on you. You are whoever you want to be. Not one person on this earth has walked through life perfectly. Nobody. Not one person on this earth has not made a mistake. Not one person on this earth has not said something they didn't mean or hasn't made a mistake in how they've communicated or how they've chosen to move through their life at one time or another. The ones who say they're perfect and they've never done anything wrong, they're hiding. And they're not just hiding from others, they're hiding from themselves. We all have to take a good, hard look in the mirror and realize, you know what? This life is not perfect, but that's what makes it beautiful. And forgiveness and redemption is so important in this life. And sometimes I feel like that it doesn't exist. Like, it's like if someone makes a mistake, it's like that cancel culture that's out now. I'm like, yo, are any of these people perfect? No, they're just hiding behind their phones. And it's so easy to judge others or make comments on others and try and bring the torches to people and take them down. And I'm like, what is that cultivating? Like, what kind of energy is that cultivating? It's not one of love or compassion or empathy. I can tell you that much. It is judgment and hatred and not wanting to look within ourselves. It's like a projection. It's just like, yo, can we all take it down a notch? Can we take a nice deep breath? Take a little look at ourselves for a second and be like, oh, wait, no, I'm not perfect either. So before I go ahead and judge this person for something that I don't know anything about, and we all act so entitled, like we know so much about everything. Like, sure, yeah, the internet is a great resource. I'm grateful for it. But it doesn't mean we know everything about every person's lives that we encounter each day, right? What you see of someone's journey compared to what it actually looks like, oh my God, it's mind-blowing. I love those little memes and those pictures that pop up, and it's like literally what I just said, like what you know of someone's journey. There was one I shared recently and it was so simple, but it was so cute. I loved it. And it had like 3 dots and they were pinks and oranges and yellows. What was the top? It was like what you think someone's journey is, and then what it actually is was on the bottom, and it had like so many dots, like so many. And I just feel like we all need to remember that as we walk through life. And it can be challenging too, if you're out in public, someone speaks to you a certain way for no reason, like unprovoked, and they decide to say, it can be challenging not to let that hurt you, because it's like, what did I do? Like, I'm just here. Is my light and who I am triggering you just by me being who I am? And even if logically it's not about you, if you're a sensitive soul, sometimes it's difficult to remember that. But I really hope that you do remember that. If you're just doing you, living your life, you're not being rude or disrespectful to others, you're good. you're doing good. So try not to let the haters get you down. Again, easier said than done, but sometimes it's nice just to hear these words and just remember that you got this. You're not alone. Connect to that intuition and remember that we as human beings, we're pure souls. And sure, there are some individuals out there that do some questionable things and who do not project light or love. And it's again, this could be a whole other episode on its own. I've talked about this with my partner and also with different friends, and I'm like, what do you think? There's a few different questions that I ask, but like some people believe that when we're born, we're pure souls, and it's life experience, nurture, all these things that can make people really messed up and do really, really gross, evil things. And then some people think that it's nature. I guess it's the nature versus nurture argument, but to me, it's a lot deeper than that. I think there's way more to it than just that. And it's interesting because I want to believe that each of our souls are pure when they enter this earth, and then it's all of the things combined that can affect it. But I don't know. It's an interesting topic. I feel like I'm going to have to dive deeper into that, and we'll get a good guest on and we'll dive into that. But it's just interesting. It's intriguing. But that's a whole other topic. I won't go down that rabbit hole. I know y'all know I am very capable of going down that rabbit hole, but we will not do that today. I wanted to also, I meant to do this at the beginning of the episode, but then I got on a roll and I just could not stop, and spirit was just moving through me and the words were just falling out of my mouth. I know when I talk like that, I'm like, I am a channel right now for whoever needs to hear this. So before we went on that, I wanted to just touch base and just let everybody know that there will not be an episode out next week. I am actually going back home to New Brunswick this week. I am so excited. I have not been back east in, oh my God, well, when did I move to Vancouver? November 2020. I haven't been back east since then. So it has been a long time. I am super excited to see my family, my friends, and one of my besties. You know her well. She's been on the pod a couple times. Her and her love bee are getting married this weekend. So Kelsey and Bethany, I know you remember them from my 1-year celebration episode. It was episode 53. If you want to check that out, you can hear more about their love story and their business ventures. But they are tying the knot this weekend. I cannot wait. I am the maid of honor, and I'm also officiating the wedding, so I'm really excited for that. I haven't done anything like that before, so I just can't wait to pour all of my love, my light, and all the beautiful, grateful energy into the ceremony and just wish these two beauties well, because their love is amazing and it is inspiring, and it just shows you that no matter what, when you choose your authentic self, the magic of that combined with the magic of the universe delivers into amazing, beautiful things. So I'm super, super excited for that. It's going to be a really busy trip home. Lots of people that I need to see. Lots of East Coast food I need to eat. Hello, garlic fingers. I can't freaking wait. It's going to be amazing. So just wanted to let everyone know there will be no episode next week, just with that trip and everything. And I didn't want to leave you hanging like last week, so just want to throw that out there. With all that being said, I'm going to call our tea time here for today. We're going to end on a good note of celebrating that love and connecting to your inner knowing, your intuition. Let her sing loudly, everybody. If you have lost touch with her, that's okay. Take some quiet time each and every day and just sit with her and connect. And another great practice to do if you want to strengthen that intuition, when someone asks you a question, whatever your immediate answer is, say that. Don't think twice, say it. Or if you're trying to make a decision and in your heart and in your gut and in your mind, one thing pops to your head, go with that. Try and trust it. And sure, it might not be right every single time. But like I said, the more that you give into that and trust it and just go with it, the more dead on it becomes. So I hope everybody takes that with them today as they take on their Tea Time Tuesday. You are amazing. Trust yourself. Let your intuition be your friend. And remember, you are enough. You are worthy. And whatever you wish for in this lifetime can be yours. You are love. You are light. Let go of your past mistakes. focus on the present, and take action towards what your future self wants. Don't beat yourself up any longer for any mistakes you have made. If you have rectified those situations and done what you've needed to do to process them, you can move forward. You can release. You do not have to hold yourself hostage to that. Live in your truth, live in your light, and just be the awesome human being that you are. I love you all so much. I want to wish you all love and light as always as you take on your day, week, month, year. Oh my God, the Friends theme song's in my head now. All right, I'll leave you with that. I love you, and we will see you not next week, but the next week. Have a good one, everyone.